Welcome back. This is the seventh episode of the Duck of Doom. So, where we left off last time was we had the Duck of Doom created. Previously, we had done a normal duck you see on the left, and the one we just finished on the right. If we go into the scene view, we can zoom in on these guys a little bit more, just for if you haven't seen what we're doing. So this guy's like a skeletal kind of zombie duck that's going to come and get you. And then there's the normal ducks. So I figured since we have those models and what we'll need for the main gameplay, we may get more props eventually, but the primary thing we need to kind of complete the loop here is the shotgun model. So where's Silo? Here we go. So here is the shotgun we made. We've been using Mudbox to do most of the painting. I'm going to continue that. So what you'll see here is a little bit of a different process I like to use. The UV map is already created. We did that early on, maybe episode 2 or 3. And I'm going to, did I join all this together? I think I did. Yep, I sure did. I'm going to make a copy of it, move it out of the way. I'm going to go into face mode, and what I'm going to do here is move the pieces around so that they're in fairly distinct areas, so that when I go to paint it in Mudbox, that they will not be presenting themselves as problems, kind of like giving myself space to paint essentially here, right? And what's cool is when you do this, the UV space is not changing at all. See over in the upper right or the lower right, the UV map's not changing at all. So me doing this is not going to affect, when I finish the paint job, I'll go back and apply the material to the shotgun that's in the correct configuration, right? Just save the scene, and then I'm going to export the selected object as the shotgun to paint. And I might do some normal maps too. So we're going to go into Mudbox, new scene, tell to open, and we want the shotgun to paint. The mesh has an incomplete set of UBWs. All right, so I think I'll want to fix that. I don't know what it thinks the problem is. It looks pretty good to me. What is the problem? Honestly, it's probably one of these guys right here. That's irritating because I don't have to redo things, but let me just see if I can get away with it. But I guess let me do a test here. Subdivide it, and then extract texture maps, normal map, and then if it can't do a normal map, then I know I have to fix that problem. Okay, let's go look. Photoshop, where are you? So irritating. I have Photoshop and it's like offering me the cloud version because it's retarded Windows. Alright, shotgun, normal map. Looks good to me. Alright, happy enough. We're gonna go with it. Alright. Some of these things, if I step down here, so you see the shotgun thing here, it like way overdid the, I'm going to turn off the normal map. It way overdid the smoothing process that occurs when we did the subdivision. Oh, see, kind of turns it into a circle. And that's a problem I showed you how to deal with in an earlier video. In this case, it's going to be so non-visible to the player. I just don't even care. All right, let's go paint tools. And I definitely don't want this mauve color, so we'll start with a dark undercolor, and it should prompt us. Oh no, because there's already normal. New layer, diffuse. There we go. Oh, I got a stamp on. There we go. So this would be a good candidate, in my mind anyways, for a little bit of Photoshop adjustments, because there's certain things that Photoshop just does really simple and well. But getting the base colors down in here, this kind of natural painting to me is just super nice and easy. Alright, let's go get a brown color. Yeah, we'll do some of this in Photoshop. This is, and the stock is over here. Yeah, honestly, in fact, like maybe this one's just a better one to do in Photoshop. Now that we got the normal out. Export selected to shotgun diffuse. Can I save PSD? I thought so. There we go. Alright, let's copy this layer. So obviously these bits are the metal strut and the two shotgun barrels. So here's a cool trick that I like for metal. So let's go over and see which of those had a little bit of brown. One of the barrels does, okay. So I'm going to create a new layer on top. To use the gradient tool. And then we got lots of nice gradients. I want something that's got some kind of like steel looking stuff. And so try to pick a good one that has the right kind of gradients that you want. And then you use your gradient tool. If you hold shift, that keeps it very linear from either left to right or top to bottom. Yeah, it's okay, but let me just see if there's one I like better. Yeah, this one's too much. And I can actually make my own gradient too. Custom. I think that's my new custom one. Yep, custom. So I'm going to show you how we'll make our own gradient. This is a little bit of an off, not gray tone. Yeah, check that out. See, this to me looks like metal that's got some sheen to it. Just have to find the right, perfect. Yeah, look at that. Ooh, that was nice. All right, now there is two barrels that look very nice. And then we just need this little strut thing here to look metallic. And gonna do it this other way. Looking good. Okay. Don't recall for sure all these pieces. but let's just go ahead and save, and we'll just go look in Mudbox real quick. It should reload it if I recall correctly. Maybe not. All right, let's just do this in here then. Create a new material, tell it that the item we want to use is the shotgun diffuse, and apply it. Look at that. That's nice. Okay. One minor problem, maybe not a problem at all, if we rotate this object, so the player will never see it. See, it's the seam. So we'll go in here, see between here and here how stark that is. And if we go in here, that is probably, we'll come back here. See how this edge is white and this edge is black. That spot is almost certainly right here. Yeah, see, you can see when I click on it, the 2D view shows you that's these two things on this side and this side. So that's really visible. Potentially, let's say if we have an animation, it goes boom, boom. Or, you know, I don't know if it's going to go from side to side like that, but if it did, that would be visible. So we're going to do a rotate manipulation. Do it like that, rotate. Let's find that edge and bury it. And now that is not a problem. So I could have redone the gradient to try to solve that problem, but instead I'm just going to rotate it where I think the player will never see it. All right, next we need to, and so this helps show us where in the texture we are. So see up here, this round guy is one of the barrels, and then this, so these two are barrel ends. These guys here. Use my selection tool to grab those in the new blank layer. And honestly, these guys aren't going to look as good like that, so I'm just going to get a start here. Go to a normal brush tool. And what I like to do is color dodge the very low opacity, like 2-3%, and then kind of go like this until it starts looking like shiny metal. It could be that the rotation or orientation on this is wrong. And I'm just doing lots of little clicks until this gets that. See how it looks? It's just like shiny metal. Oops. There's an update coming for Silo where it's supposed to kind of watch your changes. Alright, so there's ups and downs to what we just did there, but I would say this just kind of doesn't work in general because it's too bright. So what we'll do, see if this game's for mobile, which at the moment it's not, but if it is for mobile, we would want to consider the materials we use need to be mobile friendly, and so often the most mobile friendly material you can use is one that is only the diffuse map. Using normal maps in a mobile game is it's just not a good idea. It's hypothetically possible that some really high-end mobile devices have enough of a video chip in it that they can do normal maps in the hardware like it's supposed to, but most of them, if they'll do it at all, will be doing it in the software. And even in that case, you still don't want to do it because it takes a lot of the memory on the device. It's going to run slow, and they're just going to feel like there's something wrong with your game and probably not play it much unless, by magic it's one of the coolest games on the planet and everyone feels like they've just got to play it no matter what. But if you've got that game, then you've probably got other problems that I would love to have. So good luck. I hope that works out for you. All right. I'm not going to make this nearly as shiny as it just was. So, I don't know why that's being so slow. Maybe because I'm streaming. There's always that. Wow, they're super slow. Wonder if I'm filling up my hard drive somehow. Let's see here. 11 gigs free. Yeah, this is a 256 SSD, so I've got a bigger one, but that one is pretty small. I'm gonna save some space and collapse these layers down. There's really no reason to not. Let's get back to Silo. So interestingly, whatever I did with this guy is just not looking right either. Oh, I see. Look at that. I did not pay good attention. Look, see how this is so much white down here? I should have paid better attention when I made that. Just gonna undo that a different way then. So you can see another technique here. Make this quite large. There you go. And then swipe it back and forth. Sample with the eyedrop tool, which in Photoshop, if I'm in brush mode and I hold Alt, I can sample any color real quick. Alt. So black, go like this a couple times. Alt. And that's fine, but it's actually too big of a stripe, so let me go like this again. Now I'm going to reduce my brush size, reduce the opacity, grab this and go boom, boom. Again, reduce the opacity. And I could at this point go to color dodging. So color dodge is something it's really easy to overdo if the opacity is too high. So yeah, I just feel like that's too much there. Let's just leave it at that. There we go. Better. Not perfect. Honestly, could be that this could just use a flat color. So as I was getting around to earlier, since we're shooting for desktop, I don't need to worry about all those considerations for mobile and the texture memory as much. For a game like this, a moderately sized normal map, perfectly acceptable, should run just fine. Alright, so let's take some samples of these wooden areas, which I think that's all the wooden areas. And then here's another technique I like to do. I have a bunch of textures I've used. Many of them I took myself, but some I purchased online. And some of them, there's if you Google, there is some free texture sites. Some of those sites you need to read the license on because it could be more or less restrictive, and some of those can be, I don't necessarily say toxic, but not conducive to releasing a game that you want to make money on. I'm going to copy that and let's resize this. I'm going to move this around a couple times. Oops. Alright, so what I did was this, I copied that texture all over the place to overlap all the wooden areas. Then I collapsed the layers together to form this unified one. This is the layer where I had selected, which I'll hide this. This is all the areas that actually need a wood texture. So I control click on it and it forms this dotted line. Come up here and then I do select inverse and then cut, and there you go. Now everything's covered with wood textures. So I'm going to merge that down below. So there's some minor problems, like this is not what you want. Too strong of a seam here. Probably in a place where people can actually see. So a couple ways to deal with that. Ooh, what did I just do there? Gonna copy, paste, Control T, and then scale it like that. Make it harder to see. But that's, and then use the clone tool and alt click. Need this to be bigger, clone tool. This isn't ideal, but it helps reduce the perception of that edge there a little bit. Honestly, probably the easiest thing to do would just be go back over here, copy. Sometimes you get into what you're doing and you just don't think about it. Let's clip this out here. Select inverse, cut, and merge it back down. There you go. Good enough. All right. Save. Go back to Silo. All right. So now, as you see, our shot. Let's get rid of this guy. It's not needed. Shotgun's looking pretty sharp. You know, I've seen worse. It is not a miraculously awesome one, but where is this guy on the texture map? Is it even in there? Yeah, there it is, really small. Okay. Did I even see this on here? Is it possible somehow that this is not, this is what 3D Max was complaining about? I'm sorry, Mudbox. I bet you it is. Okay, see there, it updated. Almost got it. So it's gonna go like this. There's no reason that can't. Save again. Perfect. Okay. Okay, that's good enough for what we're doing. Let's go put that in the game and mock it up and take a look. Quick access is what we want. shotgun to paint because that was all tore apart. That would be one funny shotgun in the game. So let's recenter this. Selection, recenter object axis, fine. Oh, I forgot that's the position. 0 these. Come on now. There we go. Save file. Save selected object. Shotgun low. And again, we're probably gonna know probably about it. I will be animating this at some point in the near future. Don't need Mudbox anymore. Empty. So this will be the shotgun model. And we'll put that inside there. Go to the scene view. Oh, nice. Shotgun's already in the duck. It's ready to go. Let's create a new material. Call it shotgun map. And here we will drag in the diffuse, or as Unity likes to call it, the albedo, and the normal map. Fix it. Apply this material to the object. There you go. That isn't bad at all. And see how it's can kind of see at certain angles. Yeah, right there, the sheen on it from the normal map, shininess. So let's position that in the game view roughly where it would be. Actually, I'll make a prefab first. Bam. Alright, the easiest way for me to do this is take the main camera and see the transform up here. I'm going to copy component, go to the shotgun, paste the component values, and that's of the transform. It's not of like really anything else about the object. So now if I click on the main camera, the shotgun, interesting, somehow the shotgun is not centered inside its own game object. Now it is. So again, the main camera, wow, what's this weird thing? Well, it's because the shotgun is like literally on top of the camera. Move it here, and so if we click on the camera, the blue is the forward facing where the camera, if I zoom in, you see the camera icon widget. See how it's facing towards the blue? So we're looking here at the part of the stock. The shotgun's quite large, but that might be okay. It can be shrunk down. No, I want that. Want the rotation. Good. Not so good. So irritating, just figuring out this stuff by hand. But that's very close, so another way I can hand rotate this. Okay, that's why I wasn't going to get too close. Let's go for the game. Ooh, look at that. Alright, it's very close. It's just either one of two things. It's way too close to the camera or it's way too big. So I'm going to move it down. Okay, good enough. All right, check that out. There we go. That is looking good. So as you see, when we hook up, like say, some mouse controls so that the gun is pointing around and ducks are flying, we will be set to work on the gameplay. So I think that's a good stopping point. Going to work on animating the ducks, animating some firing action on the shotgun, and then we should be really darn close to programming out the gameplay. I think that's a good stopping point for tonight. So thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next time.